We know that in order to build a successful network marketing business that you want, it requires more than customers. It requires people like you to join the business. If you're in network marketing and you're a consultant, what you're looking for is really more people like you, right? Of course. What's the trick? Finding them. And so that's what this podcast is about today: is things that I've observed through the last decade and a half that usually are indicators that you're going to have someone that's going to do something and potentially have a high level of success. And that's what you want. Because just like all of us, when we recruit people, the last thing we want is for them to join us and them not have success. We want them to have success. What's up? Welcome back to our podcast, you guys. Thank you for being a part of what we are doing here with the Freedom Factory. And I'm excited about this week's topic. It comes from a conversation I had just this past week with a team that asked me to come in and speak to some of the leaders there. And I thought, what a great topic they asked. Well, it was actually a question that came up while I was on this leadership Zoom. And I thought I would elaborate here a little bit and share it with all of you. So, we're going to be talking today about the qualities you're looking for when you're out looking or trying to recruit, partner with new people. We know that in order to build a successful network marketing business that you want, it requires more than customers. It requires people like you to join the business. If you're in network marketing and you're a consultant, what you're looking for is really more people like you, right? Of course. What's the trick? Finding them. And so that's what this podcast is about today: is things that I've observed through the last decade and a half that usually are indicators that you're going to have someone that's going to do something and potentially have a high level of success. And that's what you want. Because just like all of us, when we recruit people, the last thing we want is for them to join us and them not have success. We want them to have success. So I'm going to give you a few things to think about that I've got prepared here. And then I'll share with you at the end really a little bit of my story and how I've used that to go out and look for people who are in a similar situation to I was. So anyway, here goes. First thing is you need someone that has, in my opinion, some sales experience. So who are those people? Well, everyone has sales experience. And the reason I can say that smiling, if you're on YouTube watching this podcast, you're seeing the smile, is all of us at some point have sold something. And you're like, thinking maybe not. Like, no, I haven't sold anything. Well, if you've ever been on a date, you sold yourself. Like, you brushed your hair, you brushed your teeth, you made yourself look nice. Why'd you do that? So that the other person that you were meeting would be impressed and maybe want to do a second date or a third date, right? That's selling. That is doing things to get other people to do what you want them to do, right? Transferring belief. You believe they should go on a second date, so you're going to give them the best first impression. That's sales. Well, the next step is you may be selling products or goods or services, all right? That's a whole nother game, but it's still the same thing. You're trying to transfer your belief to them, and that takes a skill set in communication. So you were looking for people who are good communicators, people, let's frankly, that talk a lot. Like, people that talk a lot typically are good communicators. It doesn't mean they're always the best, but a business owner, that's really, think of a business owner. Every business owner has to sell. Now, they may scale their business to the point where they're able to hire salesmen. Maybe maybe it's a jewelry store. They've got people now working the doors, working the counters, selling. Maybe they don't have to sell, but in the beginning, they had to sell. They had to know their products. They had to be excited about it, and they sold. and they built a business big enough to where they could bring some help in for other people to sell. But selling, if you're a business owner, you have to sell. And newsflash, if you are a consultant, distributor, network marketing, you are a business owner, which means you have to sell. A lot of people don't like that. They're like, oh, no, no, I don't sell, I share. Well, that's just a kind of a term that's been used so that the people that are salesy have sales breath will tone it down, right? Sharing's different than selling. And I get that. But at the end of the day, you've got a product that you need to get or service in someone's hands and they need to pay dollars for it. That is sales. Okay. Look for someone who has owned a business before. Someone that's owned a business before has those sales skills. They know what it's like to be able to have something that they are excited about and then transfer that belief to others. So look for business owners. Now, to bridge that, business owners have other skills as well. I'm going to touch on that a little bit later. Look for someone who can get excited about something because in network marketing, if you're not excited about your product or service, no one else is going to be excited either. And so look for people who get passionate about something. Maybe they're passionate, if it's a guy, maybe they're or it could be a female. Maybe they're passionate about boats and offshore fishing. I know I was actually in a conversation once with a guy that was a realtor, which is funny, that told me he didn't like to sell. I'm like, "Excuse me, like how are you a realtor and not selling?" But earlier in the conversation, I found out he liked the fish. So I made it a point in the conversation to say, "Hey, you told me earlier about fishing, but well, when you go offshore, like, what's your favorite type boat?" So I got him talking about boats and then the engines on the boats and the hulls. And he just went on and on. And the passion was just oozing out of him. And then I looked at the two people. There was four of us at the table. I looked at the other two and I said, did he seem like he was excited about offshore fishing? And they're shaking their head, yep. And then I said, in his conversation, did it make the two of you feel like you may want to go offshore fishing with him? And they both shook their heads like, yep, that sounded like a great time. And I looked at him and I said, congratulations, you're a salesman. The point is, guys, if you can be passionate about something, it's not sales. You're transferring belief. Okay. So look for people who can get excited about things. Like I know a guy that is excited about health. I'm not going to get into the specifics because then he would know who I'm talking about. But he's really excited about health and all these different rabbit holes he's gone down with health. And I mean, like when he gets on this kick, he goes. He goes after it, and the people around him, they're going to hear what he's thinking because he's passionate about it. Got another friend that's really passionate about trading stocks and options, and he gets after it in the conversation. Well, that's what you're looking for a business partner. You're looking for someone who can get passionate about something. Maybe their passion is, fashion, high end jewelry. Maybe their passion is dogs and horses, cars. You're looking for someone that has a fire, can get fired up about something, right? And that's the type person, because if you can get that person excited about your product or service, then instead of talking about boats and cars and jewelry and fashion and dogs and cats and horses, they'll be talking about your product and service, and they will be successful. All right. Jumping back to the business owner. One of the reasons why I look for business owners to join me in this business is they know what it's like to deal with rejection, because no business owner opens their business and everything is perfect and easy. And it just doesn't work that way. In fact, some business owners have had to go through several businesses that have failed, and like failure, they're not afraid of it. They don't like it, but they're not afraid of it. Whereas someone that's never owned a business before doesn't mean they won't be successful in network marketing, because honestly, the majority of people who join a network marketing company have never owned a business before. Side note, that's why most people in network marketing are not successful at doing this on a big scale. You can make a few $100s. A lot of people, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people make a few $100 a week or a month. Few of them make thousands and thousands of dollars or full-time money in network marketing. And the reason is they've never owned a business before. So they don't treat this like a business. They treat it like a hobby. And if you treat this like a hobby, you know what I'm about to say, it's going to pay you like a hobby. And hobbies don't pay. Hobbies cost you money. Okay? So find someone that's owned a business because they also know what it's like to be rejected. They know what failure looks like. So they're resilient. They're resilient. They know how to persevere. They know how to keep getting up even though they've been kicked, and getting up even though they've been kicked. Um, a business owner may have, big changes in their business that they have to pivot and change, and that's what's going to happen in network marketing. You're going to be doing things great, your business is going to be growing, and then it won't grow, and then you're going to have to pivot and figure some things out. So look for business owners. They're some of the best people to join you in network marketing. I'll tell you also, look for someone who um, is hungry. Look for someone who's hungry. Now, here's my story. We joined network marketing after we had just had a major setback in our kind of retirement portfolio. It was the 2008, 2009 financial crisis. And we had put all of our eggs kind of in the real estate basket. We had a bunch of houses. We had to sell them all. And we didn't have to go through bankruptcy or foreclosure, but literally we saw almost $2 million in equity, not home value, in equity disappear in just about 6 months. So I was frustrated and angry. Okay. Now, that to me is like the ultimate person to look for, a business owner that's had relative success, that's had it ripped away from them. If you can find that person, and there's a lot of them out there, there's a lot of people whose circumstances, like literally what we just went through in 2020 with COVID, there are a lot of businesses that didn't survive. A lot of the mom and pop shops were, well, they were forced to shut their doors, and some of them couldn't make it. I'm looking around here. I live in Florida, and we've had two major hurricanes in this past year, and there are a lot of businesses that are just not reopening. Now, those business owners are some of the best people to find because they've been kicked in the teeth. And I love finding someone who's knows what it is like to build a business, to be successful, and then have it pulled away because they're hungry. They're hungry. Look for hungry people. Look for people who are looking for something. Like, it's strange because sometimes they don't show it on the outside. Like on the outside looking in for us, it would have been hard for anyone to know we were hungry for something different because we were actually in 2009, we were actually doing better financially in 2009 than we were in 2006 and 7. Even though in 2006 and 7 we were killing it in real estate. We were actually making more money in 2009 because that crisis, it ran all of our competition out of the state of Florida. We were also in the car business. So a lot of people went out of business. So that meant there was a bigger demand for our business and there was not many people to do it. The problem is I went from working a small area to having to work all over the state of Florida. I was forced to do that because the people I was working for owned businesses all over. And if I wanted to keep their business in the Tampa Bay area, it meant I had to go to Naples and I had to go to Daytona and I had to go to Ocala. And I was literally driving all over the state of Florida and spending hours and hours every day on the road. And it was killing me. My joy was gone. And so, but on the outside, we didn't have any foreclosures. We didn't have to, get rid of our lifestyle. We were still doing fine. So that also means don't prejudge. Okay. That you don't have to find a business owner that's lost everything to think that that's the go invite all the business owners you know. And then if those business owners are not open to it at the time, ask if they know of any business owners that are struggling. Ask if they know of any business owners that might be interested in making some additional money, another revenue, another cash stream, right? You always want these multiple cash streams, streams of cash coming in, cash flow. So to me, that's like the ultimate person to look for. Look for someone who's owned a business, whose success has kind of pulled back, and they're hungry. They're looking for someone because those people know what it's like to suffer. They've they don't need anyone to kick them out of the bed to go to work. When they get to work, those people don't need to be told what to do. They figure out what to do. They're the ones making the plan. Like in your team, wouldn't it be fantastic if someone joins your team and after you give them just that first little kickstart, they kind of take it and run with it? Like they're figuring out how to get on the Zooms. They're figuring out how to put the PowerPoints together. They're figuring out how to do the presentations. They're figuring out the products. Like, isn't it cool when you enroll someone and they know more about the company and the products and the compensation plan than you do? And you might be thinking, well, where's that person? Exactly. They're rare. They're rare to find. But when you find them, it will only take a couple, two or three or four, two or three. If you find two or three people that's that type person, you will have an extremely successful network marketing team. And you might be shocked to hear that it only takes two or three of those type people. But if you will find them, you can build massive organizations. And that's why the search is worth it. That's why you go through the numbers. That's why you invite everyone. That's why you keep looking for referrals and you never stop recruiting because those people are out there. The Brandon Cunninghams of the world are out there, people that had never done network marketing, but were needing a change and didn't know network marketing was going to be the answer, but found out it was. And so take those and think about, make a list of those type people. Now, a lot of people call this the chicken list because they maybe know who these people are, but they were just afraid to invite them to network marketing. And if that's you, here's really the problem. They're on your chicken list because you don't believe in either your opportunity or yourself enough. And you got to get over, you got to fix that because you're never going to recruit that type of quality person unless you can get yourself there mentally. So how do you get there? Plug in to your company. Don't miss your company events. Get onto every team call. Get onto every Zoom you can get on to learn about your product and services and get yourself to a point where you're passionate and you just know what you know about your products and services and no one can change your mind. When you get to that point, then you can recruit a 10. So on a scale of 1 to 10, you're wanting to recruit the 10s. But if you're a 6 doesn't recruit a 10. A 6 maybe can recruit a 7, but a 6 recruits a lot of 4s and 3s and 5s. Okay. A 3, a 4, or 5, they're not doing presentations. A 3, a 4, or 5, they're probably not even going to events. So get yourself to, if you're a 7, get yourself to an 8 or 9 or a 10. And listen, being a 10 is hard. It's hard. Even if you've been a 10, it doesn't always mean you're a 10. It means there's ebbs and flows in this business where you might get to the point where you're like, I just don't know if I can do this anymore. Even at a 10, even at a high income earner, sometimes you're not in your best recruiting frame of mind. So get yourself there. Like if you want the best people, if you want the people that are really going to take your business to the next level, you've got to get yourself mentally at that level. You've got to be bulletproof. You've got to be like, if anybody has any objection, you kind of smirk, laugh, and share why your point of view is more relevant than their point of view. It's transfer of belief. I mean, that's where I am with our opportunity in network marketing. No one can tell me network marketing isn't the most powerful, incredible business model that I've ever seen before because I know it is. And the same goes for products and services that I'm a part of. So that, my friends, is how you are going to recruit good business partners. Those are the qualities that you're looking for. And the last thing I'll share with you is this. And this is kind of like a subject that might ruffle feathers a little bit, but look for people who have responsibilities because people with responsibilities are grounded and not flighty. I have spent hours and hours and hours and hours and hours working with people only to see them make a decision in their life that pulls them away from the business. So I love working with people who have heavy responsibilities. I love working with people who are in a relationship with someone else. And the longer that relationship, the better. because that's a big thing. If relationships change, people go through divorce, that affects their business drastically and them personally. So if you can find someone, like if you can find a business owner that's been in a long marriage, whew, that's a good one. Um, Look for people who have like kids. Kids are huge responsibilities. Does that mean that someone that doesn't have kids can't be successful here? Absolutely not. I have seen massive success in this business by single people with no kids. Okay. But I've also witnessed those people that are massively successful in this business when they have kids, their business changes. I'm just going to leave it at that. So look for people who have responsibilities. Look for people that are grounded, okay? That are not like moving to different. I know some people that like literally move to different cities every 6 months, every 2 years, they're moving to a different city. That is tough to build a big successful person, a team with that person. It doesn't mean it can't happen. I'm just telling you, you guys have asked what qualities to look for. And I'm telling you, if you want to build something fast, look for someone that has the qualities I've discussed here today. Look for grounded people who have responsibilities, good communicators, business owners, those type people. They're the best ones to look for. And then get yourself to a point where you're a 10 so you can recruit 10s. Because when you recruit up, when you recruit quality people, they know quality people. And that's the explosion. That's how this thing explodes for you, bringing good people into your team. So anyway, I hope you guys have enjoyed this week's podcast. I think this is a great one. Archive this one, save it, share this one with your team, share this one with your leaders, because what I just shared with you guys is the absolute truth. That's facts, straight facts. You guys have a great week. Share this out. Put some screenshots up in social media. I will love that. And see you guys next week on the Freedom Factory. See you guys. Bye bye.